All right, welcome to chapter 5 and 6 relationships. So, in this one, another way of saying relationships is saying transitions or signal words. Uh, the relationships is in reference to showing how sentences or ideas are related to one another using signal words, transitions. And so, we're going to do a couple of practice exercises here for chapter 5 and chapter 6 here. So, looking here for one, on average, we sleep 1/3 of our life. Usually, the amount that we sleep decreases with age. As newborns, we sleep up to 20 hours a day. At age 4 or so, we sleep about 12 hours. By the time we're 10, we sleep about 10 hours. And we have a blank here. As adults, we sleep 7 to 9 hours. Eventually, when we're elderly, we may sleep only 4 to 6 hours. So now we have to figure out what transition is going to go in this blank. Is it A? Therefore, as adults, we sleep 7 to 9 hours. Well, therefore is a transition used for cause and effect. So, saying as a result of something. So, if you look at sentence 5, and you're going to have to use the sentences before to figure it out. Sentence 5 says, by the time we're 10, we sleep about 10 hours. Well, if we were still talking about when we were 10, or something that was affected by 10, then yes, we would use therefore. Or even B, because as adults, well, usually we won't start a sentence with because. So can't be A or B. So because again, because is a cause and effect signal word as well. So now we're between C and D, before and later. Well, before is used for time. So before, as adults, we sleep 7 to 9 hours. It just does not sound correct. So the only logical answer is later as adults, because again, we go from in time, this is a time transition, later. So we go from 10, later as adults, we sleep 7 to 9 hours. So we were children, now we're adults. So that is the logical choice, is D, later. So let's go to another one for practice. It says here, most animal expressions are based in falsehood. Far from being chicken, hens fiercely defend their chicks, and roosters bravely protect their flock. Instead of sweating or eating like a pig, pigs lack functional sweat glands and do not overeat. In contrast, human rats loyally, tenderly, even selflessly assist companions in need. And blank, a human wolf, actual wolves are faithful to one mate. So, again, we have some transitions here that we have to figure out what's going on. So again, what are the tricks are you're going to need to look at the sentence before it and possibly the sentence after it to figure out, is it a cause and effect? Is it time, or is it adding information? And so on. So first we start with A, unlike. So it says, and unlike a human wolf, actual wolves are faithful to one mate. So showing the difference, it's comparing, contrasting. So showing a contrast, and unlike a human wolf. Well, look at sentence 4. In contrast to human rats, so showing the difference, rats loyally, tenderly, even selflessly. So again, showing this contrast. So most likely in 5, we're going to see a contrast as well. And so again, looking B, similar to, well, that's comparison, and we're not looking at comparison. It's a contrast still. C, consequently, that's cause and effect. Or D, for example, well, that's an example one. So the only logical answer we have is A, because if you compare 4 and 5, they're set up the same way. Similar to sentence 3 and 2. Same thing, it's contrast, showing the differences between humans and animals. Next one. Sunburn is skin damage caused by the sun's ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays do not penetrate glass. Consequently, we cannot get sunburn from sunlight shining through a closed window. When ultraviolet rays destroy skin cells, an increased amount of blood flows to that area, bringing new cells and other repair materials. The red of sunburn results from this increased blood flow. Sunburn hurts. Nerve endings in the skin send pain signals in response to cell damage. So, looking here, and we'll go to A, but. Sunburn hurts, but nerve endings in the skin send pain signals? Possibly. Possibly. But is more of a contrast, and we're not looking at a contrast. So again, let's look here. We'll look at sentence 4. The red of sunburn results from this increased increased blood flow. So again, they're talking about the red of sunburn results from this increased blood flow. So showing the reason where it comes from. So again, we're still continuing on with sunburn. Sunburn hurts, but nerve endings in the skin send pain? No. So let's go to B. Sunburn hurts in spite of nerve endings in the skin send pain signals? No. It's more of a, this is turning out in 5, it's so far it's not showing a difference. It's more of a possibly a compare contrast. So if we look at C, sunburn hurts because nerve endings in the skin send pain signals in response to cell damage. Possibly. But let's look at D. Sunburn hurts in the same way nerve endings in the skin send pain signals. Well, we're going to go with because. C. And the reason we're going to go with that is because they're saying sunburn hurts even if we said as a result, because it's a cause and effect. So let's see if we're correct. And that is right. Last one here. If there was one product that American business can manufacture in large amounts, it is doublespeak. Doublespeak is a term applied to the use of words that are evasive, vague, or stilted for the purpose of deceiving or confusing a reader or listener. Blank, a company that decides to fire workers may talk of a need for re-engineering, restructuring, or downsizing its workforce. So, looking here. Sentence 3 and sentence 2. So we have a definition here. Doublespeak is a term. So remember, in relationships 2, in those notes, we had definition and, yes, example. So we're going to look for an example transition here to fit in for 3, because the definition is in 2, and so the example is 3. So looking here, because a company that decides, no, because is a cause and effect. It's showing the effect. B, for instance, a company, well, that is an example transition, but let's go to C. Similarly, no, that's showing us compared. Again, we're looking for an example. The only example transition is B. So I hope you found this helpful in how to locate and how to apply to find the correct transition for chapter 5 and 6. Again, if you have questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. Otherwise, I wish you all luck on your practice assignments and your exams. Thank you.